Welcome back, guys, to part 2 of filling the raised beds. It's been about a month since we left these guys, and we've been traveling for the last month for work, so it's really good to be back here on the homestead. Today's going to be a pretty short video. We're just going to sort of fill the raised beds and sort of get them ready for planting. And the method that we've found that's pretty cost effective is we start with a bottom layer of cardboard, and then we fill it with some larger logs. These are a little bit too big, so we're going to split these down just a little bit. Then we start filling it in with sticks, and then we fill it in with some really nice compost soil. The reason we do this, we don't just use all soil, is because it's a little more cost effective. You have a little bit better sort of areas for microbial growth to happen at the bottom. So we're gonna get a couple more logs, we're gonna split these up, and let's get these guys filled. This past winter, this pine tree came down at the back of our property, and I kind of chopped it up. I wasn't really sure what I was going to use it for, but I think this is the perfect opportunity to reuse some of these logs. I'm going to take these guys, and I'm just going to sort of chop them into 4s and use these at the bottom of those raised beds. It's a little bit of drainage, a little bit of microbial growth, mainly just taking up space so the whole thing isn't just soil. It's a really cost-effective way, if you have some material like this, to sort of just go ahead and use it. This is my yearly contribution to the local beaver population. I just sort of collect the sticks that are falling on the trails around here, and I've been piling them up here just for wildlife to have habitat and other things like this. But this is a great opportunity to grab some sticks that are already dried up, and we're going to use these also in the raised bed. Whenever I'm out in the woods, I really like to grab this Trail Boss. It's a really lightweight axe, and it's great for just grabbing things. It's really good if you want to sort of like knock off a small limb or something like that. It's not meant for splitting by any means, but if you need to just pick something up, it really just sort of does the trick pretty easily. And you really can't beat this price. So I've been on the hunt for really good sort of work gloves that are inexpensive, and these Tillman 1415 Ls for large, these are goatskin gloves, and they took a little bit of time to break in, but once they're broken in, they're really durable, they're really well made. They come in like multi-packs. I got like 3 or 4 pairs of these. They're right around like the $12 to $15 a pair, depending on where you get them, and they're just wicked comfortable. All right, let's get this wood processed and start loading up these raised beds. So I could break all these by hand. That's just gonna take too long. I'm gonna grab my favorite tool. Much easier. So we're just gonna give this a couple whacks and see how it goes. Not too bad. Now there's a twist and flick technique that I see going around the internet right now, essentially where you're striking it and you're giving it a little bit of a twist right at the end. And that's what gets sort of these side pieces. The traditional way was to do it right down the middle, but I always found that my axe would get stuck if I kept doing that. So I'm just sort of gonna go around the outside, see if I can do that twist and flick technique. Ah, missed that one. Good thing that's not an expensive axe. All right, I think that'll do for now. Last time we finished up with these raised beds, I left a little bit of weed fabric in the bottom and just sort of held it down with some rocks. Now, you know me, I am not a big fan of long-term weed fabric usage. So we're gonna go ahead and take this weed fabric out. It definitely did not do anything in terms of mitigating, maybe a little bit, but we're gonna get rid of that. We're just gonna pull up some weeds in the bottom just so they don't come through the entire garden bed. It's not too bad. We're going to get those out of there. We're going to start with a layer of cardboard. Then we're going to do our bigger logs and sort of work our way up just like a little bonfire. And then the top layer is just going to be that really nice compost soil that we just picked up.
When buying compost or topsoil, I would always recommend buying local. We got this entire load for $64. So not only are you supporting a small business, but you're also saving money compared to the big box stores.
So we filled the bed about 3/4 of the way. Now, if we had any organic matter, whether it's leaf debris or grass clippings, I'd sort of add that at this point. We don't have any this season, so we're just gonna go ahead and start adding dirt. But it was really good that we add all of this stuff because this will break down over time. And it also saves us a lot of room in terms of having to fill all of this area with dirt. So definitely a good little money saver. While I have you guys for a second, I just wanted to show you guys the progress that this garden has made over the last probably month and a half. All the flowers came in, the hydrangeas came back up. Only one we lost was the gardenia over here. It just kind of got zapped. There was a big heat spell, but everything else came up. The primroses are looking great. I really like how these sort of just, they last a long time in terms of flowers. We got all the irises planted. Everything is looking really good. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. All right, let's add some plants. That was easy. All right, so we added a whole bunch of different herbs to this garden. We have some rosemary, some thyme, some spicy oregano. I opted for some marigolds just for some pollinators for the season. Added a couple of fun decorative rocks, and I think she's looking a lot better than she did before. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. So the pine tree, the tree of my people, has definitely come under attack by a lot of local beetles and other things in this Georgia area that we're in. So a lot of the pine trees in this area are just coming down naturally, but they still make really great wood for all kinds of things. I really love pine. If you don't have a Doug fir, grab a pine.